Support Crush in giving away another 20,000 pairs of school shoes to children in need. Buy a Crush, dial the number on the pack, and stand the chance to win your share of 500,000 Rand. Hashtag share the goodness. Made with love by Clover.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Call us on your cell phone.
Culinary hotline bling.
That can only mean one
It can
thing.
only mean one thing when you tuned into this thing that we call the culinary hotline bling. Sing, sing, sing. On your feel-good breakfast show. And today, Chef Chart's in the studio, and he's going to give us a masterclass in deboning, butterflying, stuffing, and stringing a leg of lamb. It's a surprisingly easy technique, I'm told, once you know how, but it can be incredibly daunting if you don't know how. So pay attention, and by the end of this, you should be a master carver in no time at all. And of course, I've also got to say that yesterday was a very special day because it was Chart's birthday! Happy belated birthday!
Thank you very much. Thank
Great
you.
to have you here with us. Thanks
well,
for making
great to be
time.
here. Absolute pleasure.
So
well,
this is something that I have never thought about doing, but now that we are here, I'm interested. And but I thought that the first thing was that you don't debone a leg of lamb because you know the bone has the marrow and thus the flavour. And there's just something about having it like that, just grabbing it by the bone. Why would one want to do that?
so there's different things. I mean, firstly, yes, bone has flavour when you're starting to cook it, but also for long periods of time. But when you're starting to put a roast into an oven, for instance, where the heat is going to penetrate and go to the bone first.
Yes.
But what happens then is obviously starting to heat up the meat, and the meat's going to actually be overcooked, essentially, at the end of the day. Exactly. But also, what I want to do is, when you want to put things like stuff in, that's your flavour going back into it.
Yes.
And then, in terms of uniformity, I want it uniform. This is actually not uniform because I've got different densities. If you have a look here, I've got all this meat muscle, and then I've got this ratio of bone to meat here as well. It's going to cook very differently. So I'm not going to have a perfectly cooked leg of lamb.
Okay.
So by deboning it, I'm taking it out. I can make something that's a lot more uniform, so it's going to cook even. The texture is all the same right throughout as well. And those are the important things when you really come into the technical aspect of it. So bacon, we always talk about the technicality of things in a massive way, and we forget about that with our meat as well.
Yeah.
So think of trying to get uniformity throughout it. We can add lots of flavour to it, and there's a little thing inside here that's also very important to remove as well, which I'll show you very shortly.
Let's get to that inside.
Right.
What are the first steps
So,
to?
first place is have a knife that is preferably a actual butchery knife. So it's actually got a very rigid spine to it.
Okay.
All right. So it doesn't move. And then always a nice sharp knife. So just run your knife 5 on each side like that there.
Okay.
Remember, we have a European style knife. Well, most knives are European style, so it's equal sided.
Okay.
Whereas a Japanese knife is you do 9 strokes on one side and 1 finishing stroke, almost giving you a very acute angle.
Okay.
That's the way you cut. But let's just cut into here.
Now.
So feel the leg of the lamb and feel the lay of the land. I always say look at the lay of the land. And you've got bone in there and you've got bone on that side there. And somewhere in between here, it's actually line. So all you need to do literally is go in, be confident, and just make an incision. All right?
So go ahead and make an incision where you feel right.
And then open it up and get in there and feel where that bone is lying. Yeah?
Okay.
Feel where that bone is lying there. So
Okay, so
it's
where
in
the
there.
bone goes straight through the meat. There
so
it
I'm
is.
going to open this back, and hopefully someone can pick that up there. You can just see that bone there. And what you want to then do is then peel back the left and the right of that. So down we go, and be bold. Do some really good strokes. Don't sit there going hack, 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 hack. Yeah. You
Stroke.
want to stroke the lamb. Yeah.
You know what they call this in Setswana?
What?
It's called hubua nama. Like, so you...
Hubua nyama.
Yeah, exactly. So when there was like traditional ceremonies, and then you'd have like a cow or a sheep that's slaughtered there, then you'd have to like get the skin off of the meat in that same kind of way. Just stroke.
Exactly that same technique. You're following the lay of the land on the outside and going around the legs, going around the buttocks, going along the ribs or whatever it is. And that's exactly what you're going to do here. And now look at that. We're starting to create that butterfly. Exactly. And then what we need to do is just go around there. And then same on this side here as well. Is opening up and going around the leg of lamb.
Wow.
Don't you try and get on the counter and start moving around. Move Dolly around. Move Dolly about, yeah? And then come back on this side here. Now, your knife angle should always be into the bone.
Yes.
Yeah? Don't worry,
your knife angle should always be into the bone.
Into the bone, because you don't want to cut the flesh. You don't want these like little flaky little bits here at all.
Yes.
So, going through there and working around. If it's not cutting because you're hitting the bone, then just move it back and then work around it. Yeah?
Stroke.
And then same for that side there as well. So here, you can hear I'm going against the bone there.
You just shift it a little bit to
Just shift it there, around there. Okay, and then peel back here as well.
So always be moving the lamb around. Don't try and like climb over it.
Absolutely. And it's not that difficult. You need to stick your tongue out either, remember? So what you need to do is, as you're going around there, you can then very carefully, again, angle towards the bone. And then you're going to come up, 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 and over.
Wow.
Yeah? And then back down again, and just sort of cutting through there, and there we go.
Wow.
Done. All right?
That's masterful. And now, Sis Princess, Spunky will be happy because Spunky now has the leg.
Okay.
That is
the next moment. Just have a feel. There's going to be a little bit more bone here, depending on how it's all been butchered for you. But this is a beautiful cut here, so I've got a little bit more bone.
So you want to retain as much of the meat as possible. Eh?
Oh, absolutely. You want all the meat. You know, you want to keep all that meat in there. So just keep working around like that. Oof. Just so you can actually just...
Obviously, when you're doing this for the first time at home, go at a much slower pace than Chart. He has deboned quite a few legs of lamb in his lifetime, so the pace at which he's going is incendiary.
Okay. And this was very important here now, is you can see I've got a very thin piece and I've got a thick piece.
So now you want to create uniformity.
Is uniformity. So open that out like that. So now we've got a uniform piece. Again,
which means that when it cooks, it'll cook a lot more evenly.
A lot more even, right. There's a little bit more of cartilages to come out here, which I'll take out. But here is the little nemesis.
What is that?
That is a gland. And that actually makes and taints your meat and makes it bitter.
Oh.
So get that up and remove this gland like that. Just make sure you leave the meat behind.
What gland is that, by the way?
And basically, it's a you know, we all have glands in our bodies. It's basically one of their fatty glands. But actually, when you cook it, it actually starts to become bitter.
Bitter. Okay.
And now you've opened it up there. Feel out the little bits and pieces. I've got a little piece there, but I'm not going to worry about that now. I'll remove that in the break. But that is now opened up, and now you can then fill it up with things which you're going to roll and stuff it, or you can just roast it like that.
Yes.
But guess what? When you cook that, it's uniform. You're going to get beautiful pink lamb. Lamb, we shouldn't be talking about, you know, is it well done, medium rare, rare. That doesn't really, it should be always pink.
Okay, all right.
So that is
how
how it's deboned.
Deboned and butterflied uniformly a la Chef Chart. And when we come back, we'll show you what you can then do with it. We've got a lovely array of spices here. This is very, very exciting. Thank you. Can we take a breather now?
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. Now let's inspire you to travel. The myriad of sights and wonders to see in Europe make it undoubtedly one of the best continents in the world to go and explore. Its history, its culture, its natural beauty are enough, I think, to convince anyone who loves traveling to drop everything right now, take a holiday to experience its wonder firsthand. And that's exactly where Imagine Cruising is taking us today, on board the beautiful Costa Fortuna. Tino, welcome back.
Good to see you again.
Buddy, you're becoming one of my favorite human beings, because I get so excited every Wednesday. You take me on this wonderful journey into a part part of the world generally that I haven't experienced, generally that you have,
Yeah.
which is, it kills me a
Luckily.
little bit that you've been to all these beautiful places, but you got to, quality control, you got to check it out. But today we're doing a brilliant trip from a traveler's perspective because we're exploring a lot of Europe, some of the marquee cities, if you will. So we're going around the northwest coast of Europe. So where will this take us to? What are we going to see?
No, we're actually bringing out the big guns today to say.
The cannons.
The cannons of Western Europe. Western Europe is still probably the first place that people end up going to because that's where everything happens. And
Yeah,
that's
on
where-
balance, there's a lot
On
to
balance,
do. Yeah.
and we are covering the world already so far, you and I. So why not doing?
We really
Western
have,
Europe? We will be doing the Iberian Peninsula, which sounds very fancy. We will be visiting 6 countries in one trip.
Wow.
We will start off in Italy, going to the south coast of France, visiting Marseille. We'll do Barcelona, we'll do Portugal, we'll do the north of Spain, we'll do the north of France, and then we'll end up in Germany and even the Netherlands.
Wow, so these really are some of the biggest, most well-known travel destinations, European
Yes.
destinations ever. So I think if this is going to be your first foray into Europe, it's probably a good one to do, to experience as much as possible. What can we expect from this part of Europe?
Well, this is also a repositioning cruise, so it's almost a once-off per year.
Oh, wow.
So
Hence
you
the
really
price,
need
yeah.
to jump at this opportunity to see this part of the world. This is also somewhere where you get to experience the north and the south coast of both Spain and of France. So it's a bucket list destination and event that I really think will give you the best experience all rolled into one.
Might be one of the best European explorations that we've covered so far. And we've done some pretty exciting ones, but I think on balance, this one ticks a lot of those boxes. Obviously, one massive box when going to these marquee cities in Europe is shopping. You want to be able to go to the shopping capitals of the world.
Yeah.
Does it get any better than Milan, do you think?
Well, the nice thing about our packages is we always try to get you in at least a day before your cruise actually starts. And we're starting it off in Milan, like you said, and names like Versace, Valentino, Dolce & Gabbana come to mind. But it's not all about the fashion. This is actually such a historically beautiful city. The heartbeat of the city is known as Piazza del Duomo, where that massive Duomo Cathedral is. And this,
Look at that. Yeah.
this church actually took 600 years to complete. Wow. And right across from it, across the piazza, is La Galleria, which is a massive glass dome shopping mall, which is Italy's oldest shopping mall that is still in function. And trust me, it will put any shopping mall to shame. But then also for the soccer enthusiasts, we've got Stadio San Siro, which is home to AC Milan and Inter Milan. I'm sure you know about them. And this also houses them as a museum. So there's so much to do and so much to see, even before your cruise actually starts.
I love that. And of course, you are starting off on the 26th of April next year. As Tino has said, this is a repositioning cruise. So it's pretty much a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to get, on balance, this selection of these incredible European cities. And the crazy thing here is it's starting from an incredible price of just 27,999 Rand per person, including flights and taxes. You could be cruising one of the most scenic places in the world on board the beautiful Costa Fortuna. So coming up, we're going to take a look at some more of the cities that we'll be visiting in this trip and delve a little deeper into what this beautiful boat offers as well.
And while you're making travel plans, don't stray too far away. When we come back after the break, Chef Chad just showed us how to debone and butterfly a leg of lamb, but now we need to prepare to stuff it. So we'll be showing you how to prepare 2 very tasty stuffings and show you how to prepare it, how to get it in there, string it up, and cook it the right kind of way, like the pros do it, right?
Absolutely, indeed.
So make sure that you don't miss out on that on the Culinary Hotline. Bling! Sing, sing, sing!
Every day, brave young kids around our country fight their own private battle against cancer. To show them that other kids and families have got their back, a portion of the proceeds from every NutriKids product sold will go to secure the next Clover NutriKids Choc Home in Port Elizabeth. A support base where children undergoing treatment and their families are accommodated, supported, and given a fighting chance against cancer.
Call us on your cell phone.
It's baby, it's delicate, so it's, you know, it's